One of the biggest and most thankless roles in fighting is being the referee. The ref is only supposed to be there when they need to be. Otherwise, they should be invisible. Not acknowledging a referee doing a good job and harshly criticizing them when they mess up makes me feel like a Karen that's rude to a server and has their neck if something is wrong. So, to show some appreciation, here's a video of great refereeing in fighting. So, referee Leon Roberts doesn't play around. When this fighter was able to knock his opponent out, he, for some reason, wasn't done. The fight was over and the win was secured, but he felt the need to deal some more damage. So, referee Leon Roberts quickly took back, threatened with a choke, and cooled this jerk down. This would have been a great highlight for the fighter, but now this great performance is marred, and if anyone won, it's the referee. Buakaw is one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters ever. We see his top-tier skills on full display here, as he stays calm and counters his opponent to knock him out. Thankfully, Muay Thai referees are generally pretty good at their job. As the falling fighter is dropping, the ref dives down with them to catch their head to prevent it from bouncing off the canvas and doing any unnecessary damage. Getting dropped or knocked out is bad enough, but the head smacking the ring floor can be a pretty brutal +1 at the brain damage party. Okay, so I'm not going to act like you guys don't know what you're watching, but this is still a cool clip. This seems to be a Taekwondo match, and it looks very, very staged. The referee gets upset and lets out his inner Shawn Michaels as he sweet chin musics one of the competitors. He dealt with both of these guys with ease, and really for no reason. Still though, if you got a referee that can kick like that, he's okay in my book. How would you rate his sidekick on a scale of 1 to HBK? Let us know down below. As someone who's not on board with Jake Paul calling himself a boxer for the longest time, I thought that this was a terrible stoppage originally, but after some time to emotionally recover from my boy Ben getting stopped, I can see what the ref was thinking. It's very subtle, but when he asked Askren to move forward, he saw the wobbly legs that indicated no good if the fight had continued. This was a great move on the ref's part, and any criticism this guy faced is and was unfair. Here's another case of a fighter winning a fight and then throwing it all away because they have a fragile ego, a short fuse, an incredibly bad anger issue, or probably all of the above. This guy continued to rain down shots on his finished opponent, so the referee did what he had to do. This man locked on the choke and restrained the angry and emotional fighter with no issue. This is such a satisfying thing to see. MMA gets a bad rap because a lot of people just see meat head-punching each other, and that's not what MMA is. However, it's what this fighter was doing, and he was put in his place by a good referee.
Actually had to restrain Attila to stop him from fighting. Attila's getting aggressive.
And to take a look at the good and lighthearted side of reffing, we've got this guy. Very into the match he was officiating, walking was not an option. This guy had to watch the backs and the mat to check for a pin, and the most optimal way for him to do this was to just Roomba across the floor. Was this good or bad reffing? There's such a thin line of discernment between the two, but I guess this could be both. The ref let the fighter in the red eat so many punches and elbows. The ref isn't just there to stop a fight once someone is done moving, but they're also there to protect fighters from themselves. As we can see, the fighter in red is probably too tough for his own good, but the ref saw something we didn't. After eating this beating for minutes, the fighter in red was able to gather a bit of momentum. He landed a beautiful lead hook and slept the guy in blue, who all but finished the fight earlier. What do you think? Was this a good move on the ref, or should he have stopped the fight earlier when the fighter in red was getting lit up? Let us know what you think down below. Also, while you're at it, drop a like on the video. Make sure you don't miss any future videos by subscribing and hitting the bell icon. We love to see a referee not only jump in when needed, but help out in any way that they can. In this jiu-jitsu match, we see a guy get put to sleep with a baseball bat choke. This is one of my personal favorite chokes, so I love to see it work. But I don't exactly enjoy watching people take that forced nap. Taps are cool. Do it more often. The competitor thankfully let go right away, and the ref was in there to care for the napping man. Referee Blake Rice with the save. This fighter went to throw an illegal kick, that being one to the head of a downed opponent. Now, illegal moves usually result in a disqualification, or a point reduction at least, but a kick to the head of a downed opponent can cause serious damage. So, referee Rice did what any good person would do and saved the downed fighter from eating this shot and potentially getting knocked out when he wasn't expecting it. A+ on the referee here. Speaking of illegal kicks, so this one is a bit confusing for and to all parties. This fighter got dropped and ate a kick when he was down. It's hard to tell whether the kick was in motion already or not, but the fighter that threw it was immediately apologetic. The dude that ate the kick returned to his feet and attacked the ref. Whether he was upset about the kick or dazed and thought he was attacking his opponent, well, who knows? But the ref took it like a champ. He deflected all these punches and de-escalated the situation very well. Absolutely great work by this referee as well. He noticed that when Manny Pacquiao hit this guy, the reaction wasn't one of a coherent fighter. After eating this bomb, he turned his back to the attacking fighter. The ref knew that he was completely out of it and probably didn't even know where he was. So he stepped in and saved him from eating any further shots that were bound to land with no resistance from the rocked fighter. I love to see a referee that has no ego and a basic understanding of fighting. Just over 10 seconds into this bout, the taller fighter was able to put away his opponent. Knocked out but still moving, the losing party here went on autopilot and tried to fight the referee. The ref really didn't put up any resistance, but rather he just rolled with it because he knew he wasn't really in any true danger. This guy might as well have been sleepwalking. Mark Goddard. We love and appreciate you for this. Goddard is one of the best in the business, and most people that aren't Conor McGregor love this guy. But on the small list of the fighters that aren't fans of Goddard, we got this guy here. He won his fight, for a second anyways, by rear naked choke. After he refused to let go, Goddard was like, "Hey man, don't be stupid," and broke the lock. Upset by Goddard's action for some reason, this fighter got up and almost started another fight. Well, Mark didn't take too kindly to this. He stood his ground and deemed the fight a disqualification. There's no room for fighters with no self-control in the gym, let alone the cage. This is a weird one, but I love to see some drama or unexpected stuff happening as the result is being read off. Zayala went to attack his downed opponent, but got a little too eager and ran into a knee. Really, this was just bad luck. His opponent, Chapman, took this as the biggest win ever and celebrated as such. He jumped on his opponent's unconscious back and did a flip, landing on him again. What a jerk. The ref was like, "Dude, what? Why?" Which is what we were all thinking. So the referee did the right thing and made the most of his authority, calling this fight a win for Zayala. Here we've got another example of a referee getting attacked and just, going with it. This ref stepped in to save a fighter who seemed to go out. Watching the entire fight, you'd see that this was a pretty fair stoppage. The rocked fighter had a gift for the ref, and that was a knee bar attempt. This leg entanglement wasn't fought off much by the ref. He just kind of sat there and let the guy come to his senses after a bit. I'll be the first to say that Kimbo Slice was one of the nicest dudes in the MMA scene. Rest in peace. This may have been a big misunderstanding because Kimbo Slice was a very respectful guy, but he didn't let go when his opponent tapped to the guillotine choke. So the referee stiff-armed Slice's face and broke the lock. The referees that are down to get a bit dirty to save a fighter are the ones that fighters should feel safe around. If I took a fight, I wouldn't want a ref that isn't down to get physical if I'm tapping and my opponent won't let go. Here is a cluster of fighters finding out the hard way the referees take their job seriously, or at least the good ones do. These guys don't take the job because it's a quick way to become a millionaire or become famous. It's because they typically have a passion for martial arts and want to be a part of something that they love. Refereeing is a great way to be a part of the action and to help maintain the lore of martial arts, respect and skill. When a good referee sees the lack of respect for an opponent and martial arts, then we see them getting involved in a physical way at times. Okay, so this is a bad referee at first, but then he almost redeems himself. This is a bad referee that later did a good thing, but still, I'd lean toward not good as a label for the third man in the ring here. He let the action continue after a clear cheap shot before the fight started. That should always be a disqualification and an exterminated contract in my opinion, but whatever, I guess the fight continued. The problematic fighter stayed problematic, and the referee had to get involved in the form of a rear naked choke. This clip is just pure chaos. This fight got a bit dirty and a cornerman attacked another. Cornermen should never be involved in anything other than in-between round advice and icing and such. These guys wanted that smoke more than the fighters. Turns out the ref was about that kind of action. He got involved and showed that he's got some sweet technique himself. He clinched up with an aggressive cornerman and pieced him up a bit too. This was some very solid refereeing and even better fighting, still done by the ref. Here we've got another example of a referee that seemed to be a fighter in that zebra-themed shirt. Things went a bit haywire, and the ref decided that rather than de-escalating, he was going to take a strict approach and show these guys how to really fight. This guy even had a WWE-grade chokeslam in there. Give this guy a contract as a fighter, if not a huge raise as him being a ref. But yeah, ultimately, this isn't what we want to see, and if this happened in the big leagues, he'd be out of work fast. But it's still cool to see from time to time, and that's why I put him on this list. This one is a bit harder to watch, but you know you're in good hands when the ref will stop a fight off a gut feeling and not by watching you get hit in the face 30 times. This guy slammed and dislocated his arm. The wince on his face said it all, and by it all, I mean, it said, "Hey, this sucks, I'm done." The referee immediately realized something was up, or he saw the arm hyperextended. Either way, good looks by the ref. I'm not too sure I want to call this a punch, but it was something and it was aggressive. This guy was beefing with the referee after losing a fight. I guess losing one fight wasn't enough because he wanted to lose two. He kinda struck the ref, resulting in him changing from an officiating role to an attacking one. The ref got on top and, thankfully, made his point without doing much physical damage. The ego, though? Well, that thing is probably hurt beyond repair. Since we're talking about fighters taking 2 L's in one night, this guy got slept. Like absolutely starched. Flatlined, some would say. Knocked out bad. You get it. This guy, as we've seen before, went on autopilot and attacked the nearest person, that being the referee. Turns out the referee has a solid guillotine. Look out, Brian Ortega. We got a new front headlock guy in town. I can't tell if the referee applied pressure and choked this guy out, or if this guy kinda came to and stopped attacking. If the ref choked him out, then yeah, we don't like him. If things cooled off, then this dude is my guy, and I'd absolutely buy him a drink and get some guillotine tips from him. I don't often fall victim to embarrassment, not since I sang some Breaking Benjamin at my 3rd grade talent show. So, secondhand embarrassment is very foreign to me. But I felt it here after this guy got handled by the ref, and then by security. Like, what was this guy doing? It's one thing to be angry, but to act out on said anger when he has little fighting skills is pretty silly. From what we can tell in this clip, he's not too sharp in the brain or the hands department. The ref handled this little fireball with relative ease, and then he got cuffed up. Hopefully, he didn't bring anyone there on a date to watch because, wow, that's a number that won't text back. Speaking of numbers, you could help us get bigger numbers by sharing this video. The more views, the better. And it'll help us pump out more content for you. We appreciate it. No hesitation, not even a hiccup of delay. This referee has been ready for this moment his entire life. Hell, maybe he was born for this moment. And after watching this clip for the past 30 minutes straight, you couldn't convince me that this 10 count wasn't the referee's sole purpose on this earth. A double knockdown is rare, but so is a referee to act on one without skipping a beat. Both fighters go down, both of the ref's hands come up. This was a work of art. Give this guy a raise, more jobs, and maybe even a statue of him at every Muay Thai arena. A true legend in the game, this guy is. Speaking of legends, we've got Siddhichai Iniad, the referee of a lifetime. I'll wax poetic over this guy and the last ref all day, even though these are the only clips I've seen of them. And hey, when praise is earned, I'm here to give it twofold. An elbow lands, the lights go out, the legs no longer support the body, the structure collapses. Then Siddhichai said, No excessive head trauma today, not on my watch. He dives down and catches this unconscious fighter's head like it's a dramatic catch in a baseball film. This is cooler than the scene in that Spider-Man movie when Tobey Maguire catches the girl and the lunch tray. That does it for this video. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Have anything you'd like to see us cover next? Let us know and sound off below. Be sure to like the video. Share and subscribe too if you really want to make my day. Catch you all next time.